First is to introduce myself. I am Ambassador Dr. SIMEON KELVIN CHUKWU, a United Nations Eminent Ambassador, Certified Chartered Forensic Expert, member Chartered Forensic Consultants Association of Nigeria, the Secretary National Association of Nigerian Drug Monitoring NANDROM, Anambra State Chapter. I've authored about 22 books and a business coach, real estate consultant, development, and sales. So I also did international law and diplomacy. So, but my first degree was done on business management and administration. I've also trained as security and intelligence. So, the quality of the value you provide and the quality of your relationships ultimately determines your what? I want you to mark that word, network, because network is so important. This word, network, is so important. But this word rests on another net that is called what? Network. It is your network that determines your what? Net worth. The number of network, as you explained about contact, the number of your net worth or network is what is going to give you net worth. So every man you meet who does not have people around him, who does not know the value of people around him, will never amount to anything. Now, I want to bring your mind to the scriptures. You remember that son of the prophet who died and left debt for his wife. He was a son of the prophet. He was trained under Elisha. Now, my question has been, you were a son of the prophet, you were deep in ministry, you were in debt, to the point that whatever that happened, that he died, and there was nobody around him that could offset his debt. It means that his relationship was zero. He had no relationship. The only thing that could have made that a possibility was because he had no people around him, quality people around him. And the worst that will happen to anybody is to not have quality people in your contact. That's the worst thing that will ever happen. That someone is in need and he has nobody to reach out to. Who could sort that need? That is the greatest pain in a man's heart. So, the quality of the value you provide and the quality of your relationships, these are the things that will determine your network. The number of people you have is what determines the number of money you will have. Do you understand this? That people are what? Money. As you are seated down here now, you are what? You are somebody's money. You're holding somebody's money. The more people I serve with what I have, with what I can do, the more money I access. Take for instance, do you want to be a billionaire? Serve 1 billion people and you're a billionaire. That's it. Assuming I have this to sell and I can reach out to 1 billion people who give me one naira. What am I now? No billionaire. It's so simple. So, wealth is the product of man's capacity to do what? To think. God did not, it was Papoyedepo who said, God gave man the brain in order to give him rest. In order to give God rest. He gave us brain to give him God rest. So, Dr. Paul Nneyi says, your thoughts is what determines your lot. Your thought is what determines your what? Your lot in life. Every one of us have access to the same God, same opportunities, same everything, but it is your thinking that will draw it out, that will determine your lot. So, wealth is the product of a man's capacity or ability to think. Right where you are, there are opportunities, but a lot of people are not seeing the opportunities. But those who engage in thinking, all of a sudden you understand that, hey, I've been sitting on gold mine and I'm not aware. And there is no age that is too early to make money. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Yes, so you don't sit down here and say, well, what he's talking about is when I grow up. No. It is now. There are people here, your mates. I know a girl that is 12 years old, Adora, in America. Adora is her name, so you should know that she is Igbo. 12 years old. She has written 2 books and have toured around different CNN, all kinds of radio stations and television stations in America and different parts of the world. Even TikTok, she's been there to speak. 12 years old. I know a girl also, I think about the same 12, 11, 9 years old. She founded a product. And this product has become widely used in America. Lemonade that she founded, that she made. From her grandmother's recipe, it is sold everywhere in US. So at age 12, she's already a multi-millionaire. So you don't sit down here and think that, oh, it's not, I'm still very young. You are not young. You are no longer young. Wealth is made up of 3 parts. I'd like to show you. Number 1, health. Somebody say health. Health consists of spiritual health, emotional health, physical health, and mental health. This must be in place to be able to say, I am wealthy. Right? Someone whose body is not functioning to its capacity cannot make money, cannot make wealth. You need your body to be functioning at its full capacity to be able to say you can make wealth. So you need spiritual health, right? Spiritual what? But I'm telling you, you can enjoy soundness of your spirit. Soundness of your spirit. Your spirit, your emotions can be very sound. Right? That you will relate with your father as your father. You know the story of the prodigal son? We have preached it and made people cry with it until I realized that the focus was not on what the prodigal son did. The focus of that story was the love of the father. The love of the father. When this guy returned, did not, but remember, the Bible says while he was coming, what happened? The father ran. He's been expecting him. He knew the rough life he has lived, but yet he's expecting him. He ran towards him. In his dirtiness, he embraced him and kissed him in his dirtiness. So who told you that he's been angry against you? Who told you he's been angry? Because if he is, then what Jesus did is useless. That guy had recited what he was going to tell his father and said, I'm going back to my father. I'm going to tell him, I've sinned against you and I've sinned against heaven. I'm no longer worthy to be your son. Just take me as one of the servants. This was his recitation. Then he gets back. The father ran, embraces him, and he began what he has programmed in his mind. Father, I have sinned against you and against heaven. I'm no longer worthy to be your son. You know, the father did not allow him to complete all of those things. He turned away and never made any response to it and just commanded the servants what to do. He did, because that was not important. What was important is that my son is back. So, my friend, you can enjoy spiritual health. You can enjoy emotional health. I don't have time to dissect these emotional aspects. There are people who are in bondage emotionally. They are not free emotionally. They have a lot of garbages distorting the flow of their lives emotionally. Things that have happened in the past, they are packed into their mind, affecting their lives and their health, and there's no way you will enjoy life living in the past from the present. So you need to divorce them. It's not important. It doesn't matter what it was, how it happened. They are not important. Take them away, because the father does not even remember what you are remembering and using against yourselves. You go to the father and ask him, he will ask you, I don't know what you're talking about. Because sanctification is just as if it never happened. That's the way he treats you. Cash flow and riches, that's number one. This includes your savings, your investments, your earnings, and your revenues. It's called the cash flow. It includes your savings, your investments, your earnings, your revenue. You cannot be wealthy if these things are not in place. You cannot be wealthy if you are not prudent with money. If you eat up all that comes into your hand, you're eating your millions in their cupboards. So you must learn to be prudent. Nobody who is extravagant who becomes anything worthwhile. There are people whose concern is their stomach, what they eat now, right? But you must be prudent. You must be prudent. Then you must think investment. You must think investment. If you want to change the trajectory of the story of your life and family, you must think business. Some people say, I'm not business inclined. What do you mean? Jesus says, I must be about my father's business. You must be business inclined. You must think business. I wrote a book, and chapter 1 of that book is God is a businessman. He's a businessman. He does not get involved in things that will fail, in things that will not yield profit, just like the first preacher spoke. So he's a and you must be what? A businessman. The kingdom, yes, is business, but you apply the same principles to your own business and succeed. So you must think cash flow and all of that. So, number 3 is what? Inclusive of spiritual and financial influence. If you don't have spiritual influence, the devil will make a mess of your life. So you must have spiritual capacity that you stand and make a statement, and the devil and I am one with him. For he that is joined with the Lord is one spirit. So if I'm one with him, then I can't say a word that will be resisted. And I can't imagine Jesus now. The reason why he's doing midnight prayer is binding demons and all powers and all this. Yesterday I was driving, we were driving past, we are going to Asaba. So there's a place we are showing a property that is very close to the river. And I said, flood is going to disturb here. So I'm not going to buy here. And somebody said, jokingly, you need to come and live here so that, every night be binding the Mami Water Spirit. I said, who told you that Mami Water Spirit owns the water? The water is created by my Father. If I live around here, I have no business. Because she doesn't own the water. My Father owns the water. So why wouldn't I be talking of Mami Water? What is Mami Water? In the property of my Father. In the property of my Father, I'm bothered about a stranger, an illegal immigrant that I need to deport.